Hey Astro Kids, and welcome back. And in today's video, we'll be talking about the horoscope for June 2023. Now, I do want to leave you a quick disclaimer, and that is that I am using Vedic astrology, but also I have switched back to tropical zodiac. So I will still be using the techniques of Vedic astrology, but with the tropical zodiac for the zodiac signs. I'm also using the sidereal nakshatras. So this is going to be a little bit different if you have seen my videos in the past. Also, when you're reading your horoscope, make sure to see it from your sun, moon, or ascendant. Those will be the personality indicators which will map out your chart. So very important that you're looking at it from these specific points. So up on the screen here, you can see the transits coming up for June of 2023. First of all, we have Mercury, which has been sitting here in this conjunction with Jupiter and Rahu, which is going to move ahead into the sign of Gemini. Now, Mercury feels very comfortable in the sign of Gemini. This is definitely going to be a very social and friendly time as Mercury moves into this sign of Gemini. This is also an excellent time for business, for any kind of business dealings, exchange. Gemini is all about this duality. So definitely this is an excellent time for family connection, for connection with friends, and for anyone who is in the field of business. Mercury here becomes very social, very talkative, very polite, very friendly. So this is an excellent position for Mercury. Now, as Mercury moves ahead into the sign of Cancer, which we will also see here in the month of June, this shifts the energy a little bit where this becomes more of a changeable factor. So here there will be a lot of change in your relationship situations, in your connections. You want to be mindful of this. And this is definitely an excellent time for connecting with people, as this Cancer energy is very emotional. So this is definitely a great time for intimate connections. But again, be careful of any kind of instability happening at this time, especially in the area of business. But this is definitely an excellent transit for entrepreneurship with all of these fluctuations and changes happening. Now we're also going to see Venus, which is shifting. Venus will be sitting here in the sign of Cancer, but it'll move ahead into the sign of Leo. So in Leo, this is a sign of love. This is a sign of romance and affection. So as Venus moves ahead into Leo, this is a great time to express yourself. This is a great time for anyone who is involved in the arts and creativity, and this is excellent for getting close to your loved ones and close ones in this transit. But this also can be a little bit of a moody transit. This fiery energy of Leo is heating everything up. So be careful of any kind of arguments, disagreements, any kind of emotional difficulties in your relationships. So these will be the main transits that are taking place here in the month of June. But we will also see the moon here, which is starting out in the sign of Scorpio and will end out in Sagittarius. So the moon will be shifting through these signs. And as it starts out in Scorpio, this is an excellent time for deep introspection. This is an excellent time for interpersonal relationships, for really getting things out in the open and sorting out any kind of relationship difficulties. So on June 3rd is when we will see a full moon here in the sign of Sagittarius. And this will be a strawberry moon. So again, we're into this season of Gemini, which is all about this connection with the earth, with community, with connection, with interaction. So there's a lot of bubbling energy. There's a lot of exciting energy that is coming up here. Really friendly, really about connecting and relating and getting your expression and words out coming into this energy. But as we come into this full moon here in Sagittarius, this will be a major time of, again, going into deep reflection, deep introspection, of really getting into the deeper meaning of things around your relationships and connections. This becomes very important. So this is definitely a time to bring anything to the table that needs to come to a place of closure. This is going to come up during this full moon period. The new moon then will be on June 18th. And this will be a major new moon time as we are coming into this season of Cancer very shortly. Here at the edge of Gemini, this new moon is all about your connections and relationships. So, this whole theme of this month, really around this moon cycle, is about how you are connecting and relating to others. And since we are starting with the moon in Scorpio, it is all about going into those deep wounds, those deep experiences around your relationships, sorting out everything that needs to come to a space of balance, really dealing with those imbalances and conflicts within your relationships. So let's go ahead and talk about how these brief transits are going to affect each of the signs, starting out here with Aries. So again, for Aries, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, this is going to be a major month that really is centered around communication for you, because we will see Mercury, which is sitting here in your third house, also moving ahead into the fourth house. So this becomes a very social time. Now, Mercury is a little bit in a challenging position in the third house, because the third house is all about courage and asserting yourself, and Mercury is a benefic planet. So for some of you, this can feel like a heaviness coming into this transit. But as Mercury pushes ahead into your fourth house, this really becomes a time of sorting out all sorts of conflicts and competition that you're having with others. So this becomes very important for a space of closure, and some of you coming into deep introspection as well. This is a great time for studying, reflecting, doing research. Any of you who are into the mystic arts, anyone who is focused on their education at this time, this gives you a great ability to go inward and to really get into your studies. This is also a great time to sort out your finances when Mercury pushes ahead into your fourth house. Venus, of course, will also be sitting here in this fourth house for you and will move ahead into that fifth house of your chart. And so Venus here is very comfortable. This is a very expressive time for you. This is all about expressing yourself, showing others your skills and capabilities. And for some of you, this is a time of romance as well. For some of you who are single, you can be looking for romantic connections at this time. Venus coming into this fifth house definitely is excellent for anyone who is in the arts, anyone who is in the film industry, anyone who is working on any sort of creative projects or doing any kind of speculative gains, entrepreneurship. This is a great time for this. And of course, that full moon will be taking place in Sagittarius there in your ninth house. So some of you coming to some deep realizations around your philosophy, your belief system, your purpose, your direction at this time. What do you want your future to look like? Where are you headed? There's a lot that is emotionally charged around really sorting out this area of your life. Some of you are also planning and thinking about travel as well when this full moon takes place here in the ninth house. Definitely, you want to focus in on your studies if you are involved in education. This full moon is a fluctuating factor. So, for some of you, this could be a very emotional and challenging time around your studies. But this full moon will pass very quickly. So, definitely, you want to stay motivated, to stay focused in this area. And of course, we will also see this new moon that is taking place in Gemini there in your third house. So, again, a lot that is centered around communication, around your connections, and around your ability to assert your will, to be confident, to go after what you want. So for some of you, there is a new project, there's a new skill, there is a new hobby, there's a new interest that is opening up for you. And this is all about having the courage to move in this direction. For those of you with a Taurus moon, Taurus ascendant, or Taurus sun, this will be a big time with Mercury that is moving here into your second house. So for some of you, this is giving you a little bit of a break because you've had this Rahu Jupiter that's been sitting here in your first house with Mercury. So this is definitely a time of dramatic changes in your life, a lot that is shifting and changing where you are coming into this brand new life. Now, Mercury has shifted ahead into your second house, so this becomes a great time for your studies, for your education, and for sorting out any kind of financial dealings. As Mercury shifts ahead into the third house, this is a little bit of a challenging time. The sun will be here, so this is definitely a time of any kind of skills, talents, hobbies, asserting this, going for what you want. You can feel a great deal of increase because the sun is sitting here in your third house for you. Now, also, Mercury, as it goes into the second house, can shift your diet because Mercury here is all about healthy eating, healthy habits. So for some of you, you are changing and shifting different things around your food intake, around what you are taking into your body. There will also be a new moon that is taking place here in this second house. So you really are trying something new around your diet, around your daily habits, around how you're dealing with money, finances. This can come up during this time. There will also be a full moon here in the eighth house, so there's a lot that is shifting and changing. And you will come to the conclusion or the answer around what it is that you are transforming at this time when you come to this full moon. For those of you with Gemini, Gemini moon, Gemini sun, Gemini ascendant, this is a lit up time for you with this sun in the first house. But the sun will shift into your second house as we come here into Cancer season. So your focus is also changing and shifting. This confidence, this energy, this enthusiasm, this willpower to push forward that you're feeling is going to shift into the area of your finances. So a lot of you will begin to start to focus on your wealth and how you're using this, how to sort this. And also with Mercury that has been sitting here in your first house through this new transit, this is an excellent time for being social, for communication. Mercury loves to be in this first house, and it's in your own sign, so you are feeling more charming, more social, more friendly, more so wanting to get out and to connect with others or to connect through social media. A lot of you are really focused on your friendships and connections at this time. Now, Venus will also be shifting from your second house to your third house. So, for those of you who have been in this space of sweets and really getting into overindulgence, this will shift and change for some of you. So, as Venus comes into the third house, this is a bit of a challenging position. But this definitely is going to help you as Mars is here with Venus. This is going to increase your passion and desire. So you become very ambitious as Venus comes into this third house. And this is excellent for any creative projects, anything that you've been working on in the arts, any skills, anything that you're trying to develop over your interests, your hobbies. All of this can be increased through this transit. You will also have a new moon in your first house, so you're changing something about your appearance, your image. You're doing something different with your hair or your style or the way that you're presenting yourself to the world. This is a time of wanting to make a change, wanting to move into a different direction. You'll also have a full moon in your seventh house, so some relationship issues coming up to the table for some of you. But really, it's a time of finding a sense of closure around your relationships. So this is definitely a time where some of you are speaking up, putting things out into the open, or your partner is bringing things forward. And it's time to really make some major decisions about what you want to do in this area. Moving ahead to those of you with Cancer Moon, Cancer Ascendant, Cancer Sun. This will be a time where Mercury is shifting out of your 12th house into your first house. So back in that 12th house, you've been very deeply introspected. Some of you even going into introverted state at this time with Mercury moving back into that 12th house. But as Mercury moves forward here, this will really light up your personality. You're becoming more social, more so wanting to connect, wanting to relate. And you're pulling a lot out of this 12th house zone for you as well. So everything that you've been working on, studying, gaining knowledge around for this time that Mercury has been sitting in this 12th house, you're wanting to put this out into the public when Mercury comes back into the first house of your chart. But definitely when Mercury transits through the 12th house, you want to keep a dream journal, or you want to take some time for some reflection, for some deep contemplation. You'll get a lot of answers from this quiet time, from this ability to go inward when Mercury is transiting through that 12th house for you. Now, Venus also will be shifting out of your first house and into your second house. So, some of you may be getting into sweets, becoming more indulgent. Some of you can see an increase in your spending habits. You're wanting to enjoy yourself at this time. And this can even bring you closer with your family members as well. We're also going to see a new moon that is going to take place back in your 12th house. So again, you're getting some new insights, new realizations by going inward, by getting some quiet time to yourself, some deep reflection. So definitely you want to keep a dream journal if you have vivid dreams. You can see a lot that is coming up through the subconscious at this time. There will be a full moon that will take place here in your 6th house as well. So this whole axis where this new moon and full moon is taking place will be centered around your health. So it is all about focusing on your diet, your health at this time, and making some major choices and decisions about what works best for you. For those of you with a Leo moon, Leo ascendant, or Leo sun, this will be a time where there's a lot going on here in your 11th house of friends and social groups. And when Venus goes ahead into your first house, it really becomes a time of being more focused on your image, your appearance, the way that you're coming across to others. You can change your style. You can change the way that you are approaching situations in your relationships. Mercury will start off by shifting ahead into the 11th house as well. So again, this is a very social time. This is a time of connecting, of relating, of really finding new ways to bring in income for some of you, especially if you are an entrepreneur. You can benefit from this transit of Mercury going into the 11th house. This is your 10th house lord that is really lighting up this area for you, where you're bringing in a lot of opportunities to that Venus first house. Now, there will be a new moon here in your 11th house as well. So, again, be on the lookout for new opportunities, new connections that can help you in increasing your wealth. There will also be a full moon back in the 5th house, so a lot of creative ideas, inspiration coming to you. This transit here is all about you opening up your creativity, your talents, your abilities, finding new ways of making income. So this is really getting lit up for you this month. Now, for those of you with a Virgo moon, Virgo ascendant, and Virgo sun, your ruler, Mercury, is going into the 10th house here. So this definitely is putting your focus on career. This is a time of really getting into your stride as far as implementing your business ideas, everything that you want to do in this area. But as you are Virgo, this is making you very cautious as well. You're thinking everything through carefully. You are coming up with a plan of how you want to approach this. But this is definitely opening up new opportunities for you. And this is especially true when Mercury pushes ahead into the 11th house of your chart, which is going to open up that social network for you, opening up new ways of bringing in income and resources into your life. Now, Venus will be pushing ahead into your 12th house as well. So this is a time where you want to be careful of expenses, of losses, of doing things in excess. But this is also a great time of getting into your creativity, your imagination, expressing yourself. And so this can definitely bring you a source of inspiration in your money generation as well. Now we're going to see a new moon that is taking place in this 10th house. So again, doorways opening up in this career area for you. Many of you finding new ways, new pursuits, new things that you're after. If you're looking for a new job, this can definitely open up for you in this 10th house. There will be a full moon back in your fourth house. So, this is all about deep introspection. It's all about going inward, taking that time to sort out the emotional side of things as well. So, really tending to your emotional needs, really paying attention to what is it that you need to focus on to create this work life balance. For those of you with a Libra moon or Libra ascendant, this will be a major transit because your ruler will be shifting this month into your 11th house. So, definitely, this is a time of becoming more social, of getting more engaged in your friendships and connections. And this is definitely a time where you are getting involved in new ways of bringing in income, new ways, new ideas that you want to implement, new connections, new ways of networking. This can definitely come up during this transit. Now, Mercury will be shifting into your ninth house as well. So, some of you are learning a new skill, you're learning a new technique that you are putting to use. So, you're definitely thinking about your future, you're thinking about what you want to do. And this can be a great transit also for those of you who are in education as well. Mercury here is definitely getting you interested in your studies, interested in gaining more skills and talents. And so a lot of focus is going into this ninth house for you. Mercury also, when it is moving ahead into your 10th house, is getting you very interested in business and career, in your obligations in society. So this is definitely pulling out those skills, those talents, that knowledge that you've been developing back in that ninth house and really putting it to use. Now we will also see a new moon that is taking place here in your ninth house. So again, new doorways opening up and you're thinking about your future. You're thinking about where you're heading. You're thinking about what you want to achieve at this time. For some of you, there are new opportunities to travel, new belief systems coming in, new education coming in, new teachers, mentors. This is definitely coming during this transit for some of you. And this will be a full moon as well that is taking place in your third house. So definitely you are thinking about what is it that you need to develop? What is it that you need to complete as far as your skills, as far as your degrees, as far as what it is that you want to utilize in order to make your dreams come true. So this is definitely a huge focus coming into this month of June. Now, for those of you with a Scorpio moon, Scorpio ascendant, Scorpio sun, this is a very intense time and has been with K2 sitting here in your first house, where you have definitely put a lot of energy into deep introspection into yourself. But also, a lot of your energy has been dragged out through this seventh house Rahu. People constantly seeking you out, constantly seeking more from you. So, a lot of energy drain happening with K2 in this first house, but it's urging you to really focus on yourself and your own needs at this time. Now, we will also see Mercury, which is shifting here into your eighth house. So again, it is taking you into deeper introspection. It's taking you into really understanding things at a deeper level. And for some of you, this can also be a time where you are exploring occult subjects, where you are exploring astrology, mysticism, spirituality, getting into all of these mysterious subjects, really wanting to derive some kind of deeper meaning from life. This can also be a time where you are getting more intense, more intimate within your relationships at this time for some of you as well. Mercury here, you want to talk, you want to connect, you want to find some meaning from these connections. Now, as Mercury moves ahead into the ninth house, this is also getting you interested in learning and exploring and traveling. This is definitely a time where you are looking for some deeper meaning, some higher understanding. Now, we will also see Venus, which is moving ahead into your 10th house. So, this is making you more social, more relatable in the public. This can definitely get you a lot of attention at this time and can really get you focused in on your career, especially for those of you who are creative, those of you who are expressing your creativity, your talents, that 12th house for you, Libra, really is bringing out the arts, bringing out that creativity through your career space. We will also see a new moon which is taking place back in your 8th house. Very intense. This is definitely a time of bringing forth new changes, new situations in your life, a lot that is transforming at this time. This is all about your growth. This is all about your progress, all about what do you want to change in your life? What are you thinking about as far as your future, especially with Mercury, the Lord of this house, is moving ahead into your 9th house. We will also see a full moon back in your 2nd house. So this is definitely a time of thinking about changes around your diet, around your money, around your security. For Sagittarius, moon, sun, or ascendant, this will be a major time where there's a lot of changes and shifts happening for you. Of course, Rahu has been back into the 6th house where you are completely rearranging your daily life, your work life. Everything is shifting at this time. Even for some of you, diet, health is shifting with Rahu here in this 6th house. But we will also see Mercury, which is shifting ahead into your 7th house. So this is definitely going to bring relationship situations, business situations to the table. There's a lot that is being communicated, that is being sorted out at this time. This is excellent for anyone who is involved with business, anyone who is looking to close deals, to come up with new commitments, new situations around partnership, finding new partners. Definitely Mercury coming into the 7th house can open up some opportunities in this area for you. Now, when Mercury shifts ahead into your 8th house, this can get you very much interested into occult subjects, astrology, mysticism, getting into this deeper space of wanting to know more, wanting to understand more. We'll also see Venus, which is shifting ahead into your 9th house. So really you are looking to enjoy yourself as this transit comes up here. Looking to really enjoy religion, culture, philosophy, travel, experience. This definitely is a time where for some of you, you can meet a new partner. Especially if you are traveling, you can find that you're meeting new people, forming new connections coming into this Venus transit. Now we're also going to see a new moon here that is taking place in your 7th house. So again, this can be a time where there are new relationship situations, opportunities coming up for some of you, are new things that you're bringing to the table in your relationship. There can be a lot of spontaneity, a lot of change, a lot of initiating in this area, really wanting to bring a spark into your relationship, wanting to really change things up from the way that they've been. And for some of you, this can even indicate wanting to travel with your partner coming into this transit as well. There will be a full moon here in your 1st house, so you're also making some major personal changes. And definitely coming into this full moon, there will be a huge realization about your direction, about how you want to approach life. For those of you with a Capricorn moon, Capricorn ascendant, Capricorn sun, this will be a transit here of Mercury shifting into your 6th house. A little bit of a challenging one. Mercury is a benefic, but Mercury will come with the sun, so this will help this a little bit. This is definitely a time where you are focused on your health, on your daily routines, on your habits. And this transit can be excellent for sorting out all of these problems, but you want to be careful about your stress levels. Your anxiety can increase through this transit of Mercury. So this is definitely a time of meditation, of any kind of practices that calm you down, that help you find a sense of peace. Mercury, as it moves ahead into the 7th house, will be in a much better position where you are really getting into your connections, your relationships. For some of you who are involved with entrepreneurship, business partnership, all of this can prosper when Mercury comes ahead into this 7th house. Definitely this is getting you more into wanting to relate, wanting to connect with others, and there can be a lot of busyness coming into your life at this time as people are coming and going. For some of you, this can also indicate some travel that is taking place as well. Now, Venus will be pushing ahead into your 8th house, so this is going to intensify your relationships. This is definitely a time of looking for some deeper intimacy, and this can increase your sexuality as well. You are looking to really connect at a deeper level, looking to have some more passion, some more feeling behind your relationships. This can also bring up situations around your family situation. So definitely you can feel closer to your family, to your loved ones as Venus comes into this 8th house. This can also be a time where you're developing interest around occult subjects, around mysticism, around anything that is mysterious, anything that involves really digging into hidden information. You will also have a new moon that is taking place here in your 6th house. So again, there's a lot coming up around health, around your daily life, around all of the situations in your everyday life where you're sorting out problems, you're finding solutions in this area. And so definitely this can be a time where you are coming up with new ways of dealing with problems, of managing situations in your everyday personal life. And there will be a full moon on the opposite side also in your 12th house. So some of you may want to keep a dream journal, to take some time to go into deeper contemplation, to have that quiet time to yourself. You can find some deeper realizations in this area. But this is definitely about ending an old habit, letting go of something that no longer serves you, making room for new habits, new routines that will better your life. For those of you with an Aquarius moon or Aquarius ascendant, this will be a major transit here with all of this going on with K2 sitting here in your 10th house. Some of you have been feeling disconnected from your work life, your career image, going more inward, wanting to change location. A lot that has come up in your mind during this transit for sure. But coming into the month of June, we will see Mercury pushing ahead into the 5th house. And it will be sitting here with the sun, so this can definitely generate a lot of creative ideas, a lot of inspiration. And this is excellent for your studies as well. Anyone who is getting into education, anyone who is getting into even astrology, into religious texts, anything where you are exploring information deeper. This Sun-Mercury combination here in this 5th house is excellent for your education. This can also be excellent for your connection with your children as well. But as Mercury pushes ahead into this 6th house along with the sun, this is really putting a spotlight on your diet, on your health, on your daily routine, on how you're managing all of your everyday problems and chores. This definitely is making you more work oriented. You're coming into this transit wanting to really work towards your daily routine. Any habits that didn't serve you in the past, you're wanting to make some changes in this area. Now, we will also see Venus, which is shifting ahead into your 7th house. This is an excellent position for Venus, but Mars is here challenging this a little bit. So for some of you, there's a lot of passion, a lot of intensity in your relationships. And on the positive side, this can definitely spice up your relationships. This can invite in new relationships, new opportunities for connection. But on the negative side, this can also flare up some conflicts in your relationships. So there's a lot here if you're having some old, outdated conflicts that have not been sorted out, where you're not getting that sense of closure. A lot can come up during this transit. This Venus-Mars together is a combustible influence. There's a lot that is heating up in this area of relationships for you. Now, we will also see a new moon that is taking place here in your 5th house as well. So once again, you're getting inspiration, you're getting ideas about how you can increase your wealth, increase your income at this time. This is a huge theme for Aquarius. And there will be a full moon taking place in your 11th house as well. So you're sorting out your income situation, you're sorting out your friendship situation. For some of you, there can definitely be some fluctuation in your friend circle and your connections. Some older people can be leaving your life at this time. People who are no longer suited. You can see these endings taking place in your friendship circle. But this can also invite in new people. Making space for new people and new opportunities becomes the theme of this full moon. For those of you with a Pisces moon or Pisces ascendant or Pisces sun, this will be a transit that is starting off here with Venus shifting ahead into your 6th house. So you want to watch your diet. This is a softer planet, Venus, coming into this 6th house. This can get you into overindulgence for some of you. But this also can bring up some conflicts and health situations that need to be sorted out. Remember that Venus doesn't feel completely comfortable here. So this can create relationship difficulties, all sorts of conflicts coming up that need to be brought out into the open. Venus coming into this 6th house also can give you a lot of creative solutions and ideas about how to deal with your problems. But for some of you, there can be some avoidance as well. Venus is wanting to leave ahead into that 12th house. And for some of you, you may need to take some time to yourself, but you want to make sure that you're not getting too much into that 12th house of escapism. You want to avoid habits that are not going to benefit you. Avoiding self-destructive tendencies at this time becomes very important. Now, Mercury will also be shifting ahead into your 4th house. Excellent for your education, your studies. Definitely, this is going to be a very harmonious time for your relationships, for your connections with others. As Mercury moves ahead into the 5th house, this can also increase your creativity, increase your idea generation. You're looking for new ways to increase your wealth. Mercury coming into this 5th house can also increase romance, increase your desire to connect and relate with others. You're looking to communicate more with this connection here to this 5th house. And so this can be a time where you are playing around a lot with words, with communication. This is excellent for anyone who is a writer, anyone who is into storytelling, anything centered around communication and the arts. This is an excellent transit. And so with the new moon here in this 4th house, this really becomes a time of finding new solutions to any situation related to your home. And so this is getting you more connected with your friends, with your family. And if there are any issues to sort out, definitely there will be new solutions, new ways to sort this out in this area. For some of you, you're thinking about relocation, about redecorating, about rearranging things in your home. But this also becomes about new opportunities to increase your sense of happiness and enjoyment. And there will be a full moon on the opposite end of this in your 10th house, where you're letting go of a responsibility that has been a burden to you. So again, you're finding new ways to make money, to make your career work for you, to bring a sense of happiness and security in your life. But you're letting go of some old baggage, some old connections that no longer serve you.